At a ski field, a person wearing a vision-impaired bib gets into skis and starts sliding down a snowy incline.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Before wobbling and eating shit on the ground.
I'm all right, AD. Thanks for asking.
They sit up, a bit dazed, and address the camera.
Hey, I'm Ari. And that wasn't my voice. That was audio description. It adds an extra layer of visual context for people like myself who can't see it. And you're going to be hearing a lot of it in this series. I'm off to visit Thomas Coysh, who's a bit more of an advanced skier than I am.
Colourful icons populate a multicolored background. An able production. The curving black logo for Irirangi Te Motu, New Zealand on air. Yellow block text reads, Sight Unseen. Soft sunlight shines on a distant mountain range while a sheep grazes in a field. Ari, stylishly dressed in primary school highlighter-colored clothes, approaches the front door of a fabric dome, walking with a cane and with sunglasses framed by long, curly brown hair. A bearded man opens the door, looking past Ari.
G'day. Thomas, kia ora, it's Ari.
Hey mate, how's it going?
Can I come on in?
Yeah, come on.
This is a nice little yurt you've got.
Thank you. I didn't make it myself.
Sitting inside for an interview,
I think we're looking at each other.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you prefer Tom or Thomas?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. All right.
Tom's not Tommy.
Tom has fewer syllables, so I'm going to go with that. Tell me about Tom.
Tom comes from Auckland. Been living down on the South Island for the last few years. Been trying to follow the snow.
back home, Tom uses rope handrails staked along the ground to guide him to his yurt.
What's your story with your vision?
I have a genetic condition called retinitis pigmentosa. I noticed it getting worse since I was 14, but it's been getting worse since I was 6. I just assumed that everybody could see the flashing lights in their vision.
So how much sight do you have now?
Pretty much none.
Near an adaptive snow sports building, Tom dons his ski gear.
They've got 4 different levels of vision impairment in Paralympic skiing. B1 is just light perception. They make you wear blacked out goggles. They've been skiing with a balaclava backwards.
He pulls on a black fabric mask, completely covering his face and eyes. A man with a grey beard and dark shades, like if Santa Claus joined a biker gang, guides Tom to his skis.
So John is your guide, right?
He's a volunteer with Adaptive Snow Sports Canterbury. We train 4 days a week.
Speaker is on, yes.
Wearing headsets, John and Tom take their skis and head off.
When I'd ski, I use 2 different methods. The first is my guide and I both have motorcycle headsets, and he just tells me what to do.
And edge.
Tom rockets down a mountainside with his face totally covered, all while John follows in his path like a synchronized skiing snake, feeding him real-time instructions.
And turn.
The other method is speakers. My guide would ski in front and the speaker's on his back, and so I audibly follow that sound.
And turn.
Now, Tom skis behind John, steering as John tells him to.
What if your guide's just not as good at skiing as you are?
Oh, then we come in for cuddles.
Oh.
Tom crashes into John, cuddles engaged.
All right, all good.
Turn personal hotspot on.
In the yurt, Tom dictates to his phone.
Okay, I turned personal hotspot on.
What is your employment story now?
I went 2 years of constantly applying for jobs, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people were just like, oh, well, we don't want to roll the dice on the blind guy.
Which is illegal, but anyway.
Yep, they'll still do it.
Tom sits at his laptop, touch-typing an email, then staring over the screen as he listens to it back.
It's kind of actually what put me in the path of going into skiing is I'd been looking for work for 6 months, hadn't found anything. I could stay up in Auckland and not have work, or I could go down to the South Island and ski while looking for work. But thankfully, I managed to get a role with Achilles New Zealand. They've been super supportive.
I think it's ridiculous that there's still so much discrimination and so much misinformation and unawareness around disability. And it really pisses me off. And I think when we are visible in culture, then attitudes around disability kind of will shift.
If we started like disabling able-bodied people,
It's so hard, isn't it, to change the flow of the river, change the status quo, change the norm into just being sort of more inclusive.
With John hot on his tail, Tom soars freely down the mountain, his skis kicking up clouds of snow into the air in his wake. An end credits sequence. Irirangi Te Motu, New Zealand On Air. Audio description by Abel.